An old school day to mark the halfway stage of this series between two new age teams, but India defensive, disciplined to ensure they don't move behind in the test match on moving day. Let's unpack day 3 at Lords on ESPN Cricinfo Match Day with Sanjay Manjrekar. Sanjay, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Correct to call this an old school day? Took you back in time?
Yes, barring the first session where Pant and KL Rahul scored quickly, and England looked very flat. But generally, this Test match has been about how Test cricket has been played over the years.
It's almost been refreshing. You've gone back to find a new way. But as far as this day goes, it felt it was in the balance, and you could say India would have feared with those 2 wickets either side of lunch, Pant gone, then Rahul. So let's go straight to Ravindra Jadeja and those two partnerships which have held key in India being even halfway into this game.
Yes, and even if England would have got a lead of 70, 80 or a little more, this team would have fought back because England just have too many weaknesses from what we've seen so far. Having said that, the amazing thing about Jadeja is he got 70 odd runs, but batted almost 4 hours to get those runs, and that's been the great facet of his batting performance over the years. It's not just about the runs, it's about the grind out there in the middle, and that's been the big change from his earlier days where he used to come and try and throw his bat around and score quickly. Now it's just about occupation of crease, and very often he gets to play the second new ball, and which he does really well.
So that's perhaps a sign, because we can see a sign of the consistency. This is the first time Jadeja has 3 50s in the same series. It is only the second time he has 3 back-to-back 50s in Test cricket, but also a sign of how much he's worked on his defensive game, especially the facet of facing the second new ball. What do you see? What has led to Jadeja's evolution that way?
See, I mean, if you look at his performance just before the series against New Zealand on turning pitches, wasn't great. Border Gavaskar Trophy, 135 runs in 5 innings. There also wasn't quite great. So you got to say he cashed in when the opportunity to get some runs a little more easily. There are no easy runs at the Test level, but the challenge was a little easier than at home on those rank turners versus an Australian side on slightly helpful pitches. So it was just his experience coming to the fore, and came into this particular series with some loss of batting form. But I've just loved the way he's cashed it.
Thoughts also on Nitish Kumar Reddy, Washington Sundar, that 30-23 doesn't scream out of a scorecard, but those partnerships and the 120 odd runs added there have kept India in the game.
Yes, and I'm just amazed by the willingness of all these batters, young batters, T20 generation batters wanting to occupy the crease. And, runs wise, it's even Stevens at this stage, but India will feel very happy and in a way will take some pleasure in the fact that they got the England bowlers to bowl a lot more than their own bowlers, and that was a minor victory in itself.
Yeah, 167 balls faced between Nitish Kumar Reddy and Washington Sundar. The other batters of the day, and we must spend some time on KL Rahul, who has managed to do what only Dilip Vengsarkar had done before this, be on the Lord's Honours board twice as an Indian batter. What's standing out for Rahul, not just in this innings, but through this series?
Perfection of batting, to be very honest. He hasn't put a foot wrong. And even with Jofra Archer coming back into the side, because he's an opener, he was there when the new ball was in the hand of Jofra Archer. But it seemed like he had a lot more ability in spare, to handle this kind of an attack. He hasn't put a foot wrong, and that's been the hallmark of his performance this series. And something we know about KL Rahul, there are no obvious weaknesses. There was a time when he was slightly uncertain about that line outside off. Once he worked that out, you couldn't find a loophole or a big weakness in his batting, defensive or attacking. The only issue he had was of carrying his form, and he's done that beautifully in this series. So he's also corrected that one little flaw that he had.
There was a difference in tactic from England, perhaps bereft of ideas, but they went short a lot more. How would you say he tackled that? What stood out?
Well, easily. He tackled it easily, and Rishabh Pant also, when he was there, he tackled it easily, because this is a pitch which is not going to really help you with that tactic. There was one boundary that KL Rahul hit, where you could see him almost waiting for the ball to come to him, the short ball, and he knew exactly where the fielders were. it's one shot that you can't, for sure pick up the gap, but you got the impression that he actually looked at the field and placed the ball in the gap. So it was Ben Stokes just trying to latch on to anything that he could. And two set-class batters with no history of weakness against the short ball were never going to fall trap to that.
Yeah, and that makes it 4 Test hundreds in England for KL Rahul. And since 2018, no opening batter has more centuries in England. And that's not visiting batters. That's no batter including the English batters. So well done, KL Rahul. From an English bowling perspective, it almost feels like there's Ben Stokes and there's everyone else. They looked quite flat in that first session.
Yeah. Yeah, that was something that really disappointed me because, and there are few, Test cricketers who played for India around here, and it's nice to see Indian cricket do so well. But you also want to see some kind of excellence at the Test level, and there was absolutely nothing there. It was pretty mediocre in the way England carried themselves in the first session, because that was a great opportunity to start off well. It started with Jofra Archer giving an easy ball on the legs for Rishabh Pant to get a boundary, and after that it just sort of carried on. Just seemed like there was no intent. The bowling looked insipid. Jofra Archer was disappointing after that first over that he bowled, and even when he was bowling there was no drama created, nothing. It was strangely very, very dull from England, and post lunch you could see that some talk would have happened, because after that the attitude certainly changed, and thereby the returns as well for the bowlers.
But the amount of times in this innings that Ben Stokes has made a difference, breaking the partnership between Nair and Rahul, breaking the partnership later with Reddy's wicket and the wicket of Pant with that run out, which was pretty much all he's doing.
Yeah, and that is the thing, when you look at the scorecard 10 years later, you won't see the difference that Ben Stokes makes when he plays. But when he's bowling, this is what he does. Because out of the blue, he's created 3 openings, 2 by wickets, and that last wicket that he got of Nitish Kumar Reddy was an incredible delivery. To bowl an unplayable delivery on a dead pitch with a ball that wasn't new was just unbelievable. So was that direct hit run out. So this is what Ben Stokes does. With the bat, he may have just got 40 runs. But here's this contribution. 3 impacts made against the tide that just kept England in the game, if not brought back England in the game at one stage.
Worth pointing the over rates at this point of the test. With 3 days in, so 83 overs on day 1, 73 on day 2, barely 80 on day 3. Have we reached a point where something needs to be done?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that even I have got bored of, making a point on this. Things have been tried. They've tried, penalty by
WTC points, yeah.
Yeah, but I think finally it's got to be right where it hurts at the time. It's got to be some other way. And I think in white ball cricket, T20 cricket, when the over rate is low, one fielder coming back in is a big issue for the fielding team. It's got to be something that hurts them during the course of the game, because it's ridiculous that we have 90 overs in the day, and when they couldn't bowl their 90 overs, we added the extra 30 minutes, and still they can't complete their 90 overs. Sometimes you have 2 spinners bowling a lot. So it's just a kind of a habit that has been encouraged in a way.
Perhaps a 5-run penalty or something on those lines?
Yeah, you've got to think properly about it, because if you're in a run chase and the team is happy to concede 5 runs and over, if the target is greater, so all those things have to be considered. But I'm sure there is a solution there, but it's got to be something. There's got to be something done, because we've been talking about this for a long time.
All right, let me ask you something which I'm hoping will be more exciting to answer. 387 has been met with 387, 2 days to go. This match almost starts afresh. How do you see it going? How will day 4 pan out?
I can't see England on day 4 playing baseball. It's not a pitch to play baseball, because the only way you can get power in shots is stepping out to spinners and hitting them for a 6. And fast bowlers are like, you can't hit on the up and play the pull shot and play the square cut and get 3 boundaries and over. So I see England playing normally. If somebody's in the mood to take the bowlers on, he'll be allowed to do that. So I see runs being scored at a slow rate. Unless something dramatic happens, where this match is heading in all probability.
It we'll be heading towards what will be only the second draw of the baseball era. Not seen that too often. So 60% through with this test and it starts over. That is going to be the only reference to that number on the show. Happy birthday, Sanjay Manjrekar.
Thank you.
This was ESPN Cricinfo Match Day.
Thank you.